Hello, and welcome to Latin Help. My name is Jacob Jung, and it is an honor and pleasure to be teaching you today. Today we will be looking at Latin verbs in the present tense. These verbs shows an action that happen or occur in the present time. These are the following endings for the present tense verbs. The endings go as OST, MUSTIS, and T, and make sure to know where each ending corresponds, such as O corresponds with first singular, S corresponds with second singular, T corresponds with third singular, MUS corresponds with first plural, TIS corresponds with second plural, and NT corresponds with third plural. Now for the English translations, they go as I, you, he/she/it, we, y'all, or you all, and then they. Now the conjugation endings go as first conjugation is o, are, avi, atus. Second is eo, long ere, uvi, itus. Third is o, ere, blank, blank. Third io is io, ere, blank, blank. Fourth is io, ire, ivi, itus. Now let's take a first conjugation verb, in this case amo, amare, amavi, amatus. And to get the first singular verb, you will look at the first principal part and drop it down. Now for the rest of the conjugation parts, it is different than looking at the first singular. You will look at the second singular part, but you will take out the RE, and making this second principal part no longer a infinitive. So you will be left with AMA or ama, and you will just drop them all down and just add the corresponding endings. And when you're done, you should end up with amo, I love, amas, you love, amat, he/she/it love, amamus, we love, amatis, y'all love, and then amant, they love. Now let's take a second conjugation verb, in this case habeo, habere, habui, habitus, which means to have/hold. Now you will look at the first principal part and drop it down, and literally it's the same thing for first conjugation verbs. You would just take out the RE and drop it all down and add the corresponding endings. However, just be careful that the letter right here, it may be different from here, which tells you which conjugation these verbs are actually in. If it's a ARE in the second principal part, then it is a first conjugation. And if it's a long ERE, then it is a second conjugation. Now, when you're done conjugating these verbs, you should end up with habeo, I have, habes, you have, habet, he/she/it have, habemus, we have, habetis, y'all have, and then habent, they have. Now let's take a third conjugation verb, in this case mito, mitere, misi, misus, which means to send. Now, for the first singular part, you will look at the first principal part and drop it down. But for the rest of everything else, except for third plural, in this case, you will look at the second principal part and take out the ERE, not just the RE, but the whole entire ERE. So you're left with MITT or MIT. And then you add the corresponding endings, however, with an I in front of it. So it'll be ISIT, imus, itis. And for the last part, you would have mitint, like, for example, what I'm trying to say is MITTINT. You would have MITTUNT. And make sure to memorize this. When you're done, you should end up with mito, I send, mitis, you send, mitit, he/she/it send, mitimus, we send, mititis, y'all send, mitunt, they send. Now let's take a third IO verb, such as in this case, yakio, yakare, yaki, yaktus, which means to throw. Now for the first singular, you'll take the first principal part and drop it down. And then you'll look at the second principal part, take out the ERE and drop it all down with the corresponding endings with an I in front of it. Now for the third plural part, it's almost like the third conjugation with the UNT. However, there's an extra I in front of it. So when you're done, you should end up with yakio, I throw, yakis, you throw, yake, he/she/it throw, yakimus, we throw, yakithis, y'all throw, yakyun, they throw. Now let's take a fourth conjugation verb, adio, adire, adivi, aditus. And I feel like I do not necessarily have to explain this, because the fourth conjugation verbs follow the same conjugation patterns as third IO verbs. So when you're done conjugating these verbs, you should end up with adio, I hear, adis, you hear, adit, he says, it hear, adimus, we hear, aditis, y'all hear, adiunt, they hear. Now let's take it a step further and go to the irregular verbs. An irregular verb, sum esse fui futurum, which means to be, goes like sum es, sumus essis sunt. Now another irregular verb is possum posse potui potentum, which means to be able. It goes like possum, potest, potest. Possumus, potestis, possunt. Now let's take another one, which is volo, vele, volui, volutum, which means I wish or want, which goes like volo, vis, volt, volumus, voltis, volunt. Now another irregular verb is nolo, nole, nolui, nolitum, which means I do not wish or want, which goes like nolo, non vis, non volt, nolumus, no voltis, nolunt. Now another irregular verb is fero, fere, tuli, latus, which means to bring or carry, which goes like fero, fers, fert, ferimus, fertis, ferunt. Now another irregular verb is eo, ire, ivi, itus, which means to go. This irregular verb goes like eo, is, it, imus, itus, eunt. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and the following are the citations or the things that I use to create this presentation. I hope that I have helped you with this presentation, and good luck in your Latin journey, my Latin peers.